Hello, this is Seewing Yee from the Yee Real Estate Network, and today's presentation is on this listing that appeared a few days ago, Chesapeake, Virginia. All right, so this property is listed at 169,900, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,788 square foot, and I will tell you why I picked this one for this particular week. So let's talk about this area and this location and why did I pick this place. If you are aware of my system, this area is called, is an unofficial word is Hampton Road. Hampton Road, but in reality, it is located in southern part of Virginia. So before I give you a high level road map of this particular location, just so you know, I was stationed in a U.S. Army active duty back in the mid 1980s and happened to be in Arlington, Virginia, which is in northern Virginia, which is about an hour and a half north of this area. But suffice to say, based on my 20 years of active duty military experience, I know this market, right? Even though physically I have not been in the southern Virginia, but clearly my research indicates that this area is one of the largest area in terms of military population of 5 military branches: Army, Navy, Marine, and Air Force and Coast Guards. There are very large military bases located in this 100-mile radius, including the Norfolk Naval Base, which is the largest naval base in the country, even larger than San Diego Naval Base. And then they have Marine Corps Base close by, and Air Force Base, and the Oceana Naval Air Station, and even Coast Guards. So very large population base. There are several million people living here. Many of them are active duty military. Many are ex-military veterans. And many are military retirees. They're living in this area after they left the service. So they also have a lot of government contractor, defense industry, Department of Defense companies that work very close with this, with the military bases. So there's a lot of thousands and thousands of civilian government workers work in this area that also need place to rent, not just active duty soldiers. So if you would ask me what is the percentage of your tenants are active duty military, I would say maybe 25, maybe 50% that going to rent this particular property here in Chesapeake, Virginia. All right, so Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk, Chesapeake, and Virginia Beach and Suffolk to the west, pretty much comprised of this quote unquote the Hampton Roads, Virginia area, which is in the past has shown to be a very stable market with respect to real estate. The rental market is always strong because of the active duty tenants and etc. for the reasons I've told you before already. So I don't want to repeat this. So it is an assumption. So this property, all the numbers, of course, I handpicked these properties. There are many properties that I see on a weekly basis, the VA foreclosures throughout the country, and I pick the market which I feel that will make sense for our investors to purchase and to achieve the cash flow and appreciation long term to achieve your goals. All right, 169,900, 3 bedroom, 3 bath, 1,788 square foot. So let's look at the interior briefly. Much to a lot of people's surprise, a lot of these VA foreclosures are not by any means or dilapidated or require major rehab. No, a lot of these VA foreclosure property that you qualify as to purchase with 5% down, or you could make the argument that they are certified by the VA, by the government, to be of good standard, high quality, no legal issues, compliance issues, no major structural problems. The only thing that I expect prospective buyers to allocate is the cosmetic repairs. Cosmetic repairs could be $5,000, $10,000, maybe even 15,000. But we can make the cosmetic repair, which is out of your pocket, per the per the regulation with the VA foreclosures, or hopefully it's less than 10,000. So we don't know until your offer get accepted. So let's look over the property. There's only 16 pictures. So very nice. This property is built in 2011, only like 8 years ago, barely. So it's relatively new. So the exterior looks good. Is a let's look at the garage. Looks good. Very clean looking. This is the living room. I believe the rug, looks pretty in good shape. You may or may not need to replace it. So your expectation as an investor is to do not overdo the rehab because you're not living there. It's a mere rental property. So do the minimal cosmetic repair necessary to make the house rent ready. Then you can minimize your costs and get your higher return of your money. All right. So, but we can talk about that once we work together. So this living room, another angle of the living room looks very bright, which I like. Open, very, very bright, open window, everything. So open floor plan, I presume. This is the washer and dryer closet, I believe. And this is one of the bedroom upstairs, potentially, hard to say. Good bright colors. There's the rug in the bedroom. Again, we don't know until later whether you want to pay for to replacement of the rug, but we have to assume that the foundation and the electrical systems has been upgraded. The roof is okay because this house is fairly new, so there's a lot of good attractiveness and benefit. So nothing seemed out of the ordinary. All right, so again, we're just looking at the picture because when you potentially bid for this VA foreclosure properties, you buy as is, right? Subject to conditions such as inspection report, make sure that all the operational aspect of the property are meet the legal and other compliance. All right, so let's continue on. And the description as provided by the VA listing agent, he says, what a great home in Chesapeake that's conveniently located near schools, shopping, fantastic restaurants, and the interstate. So that tells me this is a very good location. So let's go down to see what other attributes that we could detect on this particular property and why I specifically picked this to present to you guys. It's a townhouse, so we expect a little bit of HOA, not much, maybe $25, maybe even $50 monthly, because townhouse in the Virginia area most likely only take care of the landscaping outside. So very, very minimal HOA. It's not like a, okay, so let me see what else I can find. All the numbers seems good. The property taxes is $136 per month, which is very reasonable, way less than 1% of the purchase price, which is good. The property insurance per month is a mere $59, so that's good. HOAs, it says 0 here. It could be 0, I don't know, but we have to assume maybe, like I said, around $25 to $50 per month. All right, let me see. And the rent estimate based on Zillow is $1,750. I know I'm not asking you to totally trust Zillow or any other third-party research, but until we get down into more details, we could reasonably assume this is a good rental rate. All right, so the school rating is 4, 6, and 4, which is pretty much meet our expectation. I think this is probably a B neighborhood. B is in Bravo, right? Maybe even a B plus neighborhood. This is a seller's market. The Zillow expect the property to appreciate 3% in the next 12 months. I do not like to talk about the future because the future that's unknown. So we take it with a grain of salt in terms of potential appreciation. So this any VA foreclosure property, the VA Veteran Administration, the government, they kind of deliberately lower the price by 10, even 20%, even more below comp, below the neighborhood comp. So not only you could potentially cash flow with this property based on the 5% down payment, but you're buying it below market value. So you have a built-in equity once you close escrow. That's a presumption. All right, and they always show the similar homes in the neighborhood, but in this particular case, these 4 homes are not that much of an apple-to-apple comparison. So I'm going to ignore this. But you have to, we have to assume you're buying the property 10 to 20% below fair market value. Okay, so that's the value add that you're getting. And finally, let's go over the what I call it pro forma, what some people call cash flow analysis. This number, another very critical factor, right, for an investor to make an informed decision whether or not to purchase any investment property. And this situation is no different. So let me give you a high-level recap of the pro forma that I created for you as a final piece of my presentation. So with that in mind, again, the initial market value is 169K. So if you want to submit an offer, you're competing against other folks in the US. I expect you can compete against 3 to 5 other individuals located in local area or other part of the US who understand this kind of properties, how good it is. So 169K, you have to submit maybe slightly higher amount. So let's go over the number. 5% down of a 169K is only like 8450, plus several $1,000 standard closing costs, plus I put in a projected 7,500 for cosmetic repair out of your pocket. This is something that we don't know yet until your offer. If your offer get accepted, then you will order an inspection report, pay for the inspection report, and determine what needs to be repair or cosmetically. Okay, so my estimation is initial total cash invested is 19,950, which is less than 20,000, which is very nice. Okay, so let's look at the I put the monthly gross rent of 1,700 minus 5% vacancy factor. Okay, minus the monthly property tax of 136, insurance of $90, and 10% property management fee, 10% of the rent, which is I think 162 per month, and also 5% maintenance factor over time to factor in maintenance, right? So I try to be as realistic as possible on my cash flow analysis, but this is just mere assumptions, okay? And the rent to value ratio is 1%, which is meets my benchmark and yours also. And the capitalization rate is a very good 8.1%. The benchmark for capitalization rate for positive cash flow is around 6%. So you have exceeded your benchmark, which is very good. Because you buy a property potentially for 169K, it rents for 1,700. So see the number, how attractive it is. Cash on cash return, because you're doing 5% down, is all about leverage, is all about other people's money, OPM. By leveraging your money, you put in 20 grand to buy a total, to buy a $169,000 property. So they'll give you financing with 5% down with a great VA Vendee loan, which is only 4.25%, 30-year amortized loan with their VA loan financing, better than the traditional investment loan, which is typically 5% or more. All right, so at the end of the day, on a monthly basis, your monthly net cash flow minus the mortgage that you pay, minus all the debt expenses that we talked about, monthly net cash flow is around $353. That's a very good number. All right, so all the numbers look really, really good. All right, so that's pretty much it. There's a very good cookie cutter property. Southern Virginia is an outstanding market on a historical basis for the reasons I just stated to you. Long term, the expectation is you're going to have consistent rents, very low vacancy rate because of the large military population of active duty retirees and ex-veterans and other Department of Defense contracting company that work hand in hand with the military bases. They have thousands and thousands of government workers that are doing their missions as well. So they need places to rent. So, okay, good market, good economy for the foreseeable future. Is recession proof, I think. Okay, that's all I have to say. So this is Seewing Yee from the Yee Resident Network. Thank you for attending and look forward to helping each and every one of you to achieve your financial goals using VA foreclosure portfolio acquisition system. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Goodbye.